Michelle are podcast's most interesting and loving couple. Join them every week as this radio personality and this author come together to let you into their lives.
Well, this is going to be a fun episode, honey.
Fun.
It is going to be a fun one. I know you're feeling like shit, but
True.
You're still here, and we're still ready to pod. And this time, we have our friend Shaleah. And she played That's My Jam when it was mid-June you played.
Yes.
And so now she's here to just hang with us. She's in the place with us. Hi, Shaleah.
Hi.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
We have a little tequila here. You want to take a little shot?
Let's take a shot.
Celebratory having you on the show.
This is exciting.
Some
Yeah.
tequila. This is really good tequila.
It is.
And I want to thank Michelle's brother. He got us. He was a true alcoholic, and he.
It takes one to know one, I
yeah,
think.
exactly. He spoke to
Always.
his brother-in-law's heart.
He was like, here, take this, drink it.
So-
Just drink it straight out of the bottle and get drunk.
You felt this bottle, right?
Tip it back.
This bottle right here.
Let
Feel
me
this.
see. Let me see this bottle.
This bottle.
Let's see.
He brought one of these,
Whoa.
right?
This is a very big bottle.
Yeah. So he brought that bottle, opened it up. We were just tossing it back, right? He was like, I got you another one of those for you to take home, but we're going to get drunk off of this one. And he was just like, open your mouth. And he just kept tossing shots
Waterfall.
from the bottle. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he got my husband sloshed.
Oh, I was twisted on my
he
wedding
was
night.
not.
That's amazing.
It was a good time. It was really
That's
a good
amazing.
time.
That's wonderful.
All right. Let's
That's
do it.
excellent. Let's do it.
Cheers. Thank you so much for being here, all right?
Okay, cheers. Toast to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Delicious.
Excellent.
Honey,
Yes.
this story that you brought to us is bananas.
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 I can't handle this shit right here.
Yeah, it's
Widow
nuts.
used GoFundMe proceeds to shower husband, his alleged killer, with gifts.
I'm sorry.
A woman used me proceeds to shower her husband's alleged killer with gifts.
American
Whoa.
Airlines manager Jamie Faith. What a fucked up
Okay,
name.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Why do your parents hate you?
Oh, wow.
Was shot 7 times by a masked individual during a
7
morning
times.
walk with his wife Jennifer and their dog Maggie in Dallas, Texas. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Within a few months, authorities discovered a murder plot orchestrated by the victim's wife with the assistance of her former high school lover, Darren Lopez.
Oh, Jesus criminy.
It's always a Lopez.
Lopez. Listen. Crazy ass Lopez's, okay?
The
Listen.
former lovebirds had reconnected in the start of the pandemic in March 2020, and Jennifer admitted to a friend that they were having an emotional affair.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Following her husband's murder, authorities say Jennifer Faith spoiled Lopez with gifts using funds from a community fundraising platform. 48 Hours correspondent Peter Van Sant investigates. Let me see.
Oh, my
They're
goodness.
making Peter Van Zandt.
Oh, this is-
investigate
oh,
this.
this
Does
is
he
a
not have
show.
anything else to do?
Oh, no. This is a show. There's a show about this,
Oh, my
apparently,
God. This
or a
is an
documentary.
actual, they did an episode on this.
Yeah, it says
Oh, shit, this is
48
on
Hours
48 Hours.
correspondence Peter Van Sant investigates the death of a Texas man and the twisted tale behind his murder in the plot to kill Jamie Faith.
Oh, my goodness.
Airing Saturday, April 9th. So this is an older article, but this story is bananas.
Yeah, the story is
Whoa. I'm going to have to
bananas.
check that out because I love that show. I watch 48 Hours
I
all the
used to
time.
watch that show all the
I
time.
watch
too,
that
yeah.
show all the time still. I still
48
watch
Hours,
it.
2020.
2020, yep.
Dateline.
Dateline, yes. I love all that
That's my
shit. I'm really big into the
According to court documents, Jennifer
True crime
Faith
stuff.
used the donations to purchase a Samsung large screen television for Lopez. And paid for airline tickets for him and his daughters.
airline.
Hold on.
She
Well, at least first class, I hope.
she bought him vacations too.
No, hold on. Over a span of 2 months, Jennifer Faith withdrew $58,000 from the GoFundMe account. Authorities noted that she left an unpaid funeral bill.
What the?
For $6,500. You dumb bitch. You couldn't even pay. You
Now,
got $58,000. You couldn't even pay $6,500.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
you
she
withdrew
didn't
all
even
that
pay.
money.
Either she didn't pay the right amount for a hitman. Like she found a Craigslist
Right?
one,
She
like,
felt, yeah.
Hey, I'll give you a TV and a case of bills.
She found that motherfucker. She found that motherfucker on Fiverr.
She did.
You didn't get him cremated or nothing.
She
Like
got
you
it.
didn't do shit.
It was
Like
Hinge.
come on now.
It was a
Like
Hinge relationship.
Wow.
wait a minute, $6,500. That means she did get him cremated. So you definitely should have been able to afford that.
I mean, her pussy must
Come
be
on.
fantastic.
Oh my God, right? She must
Serious.
fuck like a
You-
champ.
she got
like
some
this
good,
man
good,
went
good.
back to his married. Like he went back to his married high school girlfriend and then committed a murder for
a
her.
murder for
A
her.
whole murder. Like that has to be some phenomenal.
Yeah, he ain't do it for the flat screen. Let me
She-
tell you.
She's gonna be running some
Yeah, that's
shit
true.
in prison. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's a boss.
She is gonna be running some shit.
And let me tell you something.
She's gonna be on Orange is the New
And let me
Black
tell you
Part
something.
2.
She'll probably get 20 years, right? She'll probably get 20 years, 15, 20 years. And when she comes out, she'll still be hot.
Yep, she's still gonna
And
be the
she'll
same
still-
badass bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she'll still get any guy she wants.
Matter of fact, she's gonna be better. She's
Got the
better
jail,
than
she got the
she
prison
was.
experience, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be better than she was when she went in. Even tougher, man. Listen,
She's gonna be like the next. What was her name? Teresa Judas. She is, and that bitch just got married too. Like it's gonna be Teresa Judas, Dallas edition. I don't condone what she did, especially because like that's a bunch of strangers donating to you because your husband died. Although, in a way, it makes sense to me though. Like, if I can't afford to pay a hitman and you could do a GoFundMe for anything, like, you could literally, like, it doesn't really matter what you put on there that the GoFundMe is for, as long as it's convincing enough for people to want to give you the money. And then, do you use money that's not your, like, she didn't have to promise him the life insurance or nothing. She got a bunch of strangers to pay to have her husband killed. Like, did you, like, think about it. She did. She got a bunch of strangers to pay to have her husband murdered.
She did.
Honey,
That's some slick shit. Like I don't condone what you did, but I respect it. Like
I mean, I think it's very smart when you put it that way.
It's really
but,
baller.
But I also
But
think,
it's really fucked
so
up.
since that's morbid, here's my morbid thought. You ready?
Okay, go.
So do you remember that special, or those specials that have been done on TV where they do the investigations on the women that hired hitmen to kill their husbands, and so they play as the actor.
Yeah.
They play as the cop is the actual guy, right?
Yeah.
And then reveals to the woman, I was an undercover cop the whole time, so it's a sting. Well, like I was gonna say, like it gives them more credit because at least they just tried to get away with it by hiring a hitman and doing it the real way.
Yeah.
This bitch just paid some random ass dude. He shot him, and she's like, "Yo, I'm about to go on GoFundMe and just raise money for it." And it's great. It is fucking genius, but I'm like, man, those people who didn't want notoriety for it
But
are
he
also
wasn't a random
dope,
ass
too.
dude. Remember, he was her high school sweetheart.
Yeah, he was high school
He
sweetheart.
was somebody she knew very well.
I mean, that was probably like a pillow talk conversation. Like, hey, babe.
If my husband was dead,
we could be
we
together
could
forever.
be together forever.
And that new Samsung TV you wanted? I seen it on sale at Sam's Club for $6.99. So if you do this for me, I'll get you a TV, and maybe if you're good, I'll get you a case of beer too. You can watch.
If you're good, though.
you're good,
That's only if you're good.
You gotta make it convincing.
I mean, you see, he overcommitted. He shot that man 7 times.
Seven times he
was
did,
there
though.
after like the second one, but he wanted
did.
to make sure he got that TV.
He said, I want to
Football
be.
Sunday's about to be bad.
He
boy.
said, I'm a good
But
boy.
you-
I'm a good boy.
You know
See,
what got her
look.
caught though? She should have got shot too. She should have told him, like, shoot me in the leg or the calf or the arm.
Right.
Because
Make it convincing.
why
Make
would
it look
somebody
like-
just
Why would
kill
somebody
your
kill my
husband?
husband and leave me
And leave me
alive?
And then not try to figure out if you're linked.
Yeah.
You
Right,
gotta
like,
at
they're
least
gonna
make it look like
definitely-
I got attacked too.
Absolutely. Like, they're going to find out that guy and you were talking.
They probably discovered that shit in like 45
They
minutes.
always do. They always figure it out.
Probably took them no time
That's
at
like
all.
the go-to.
Man, listen.
It would be different if the man was walking his dog alone. But like
Yeah.
they were as a couple.
But they
As
were
a
walking
couple.
together.
And then you didn't get hurt or nothing. No.
See, that's the thing. Like, either she should have stayed her ass at home and not been there. That way she could be at home and have plausible deniability. Oh, my God, what happened? Or he should have made it convincing for her by making sure she got shot a little bit. Like, oh.
And by the way, we don't condone any of this because it just sounds like you guys are just like, hey, guys, if you really want to carry this out, here's how you do it.
I mean, I don't condone
They still would have got
but
caught.
I'm saying,
Like, they still would have
the
got
only
caught, but it would have been a little less obvious.
I don't condone it at all, but the only person I respect a little more than this chick is the lady who drove with the diaper, and they still can't prove that she actually did it. So there's been like a cloud of suspicion around her for like the last 20 years, but we all know that she killed that man. It's not like I don't condone murder or anything, but it's a respect thing for me. Like, this bitch, she was so close. Like, she was so close. Somebody
That's like OJ.
Okay, it's getting out of control.
No.
How's
it different?
Well,
My man had money enough to hire a good lawyer to convince these motherfuckers that if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. That shit was it, bro. Was it?
Well, no. OJ's different though because OJ was famous in and of his own right.
I guess that's
this
fair.
bitch is more like Jody Arias. She's Jody Arias. I didn't kill Travis. A masked intruder busted in and only killed him while we were in the shower together.
That's real.
He only killed him while we were in the shower together. But it was only like that was
I
the
didn't
one.
get hurt. All the bullets missed me.
All of them. Every single one.
I don't know how it happened,
Like a
sir.
gun just
it must
works
have been
that
a
way.
miracle.
Like if you pointed at something and you pull the trigger.
It was God. God protected me.
Yeah.
Hey, in the famous words of Shaggy, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Let us know what you think about this article by tweeting us at Down in the DM Pod or email us downinthedmpod@gmail.com.
All right, it's time for Forever or Fail, honey.
Fail.
It's always fail.
That's usually fail.
That's it. Typically,
fail is usually what
fail.
it is. Yeah.
All right, so this one is a husband-wife.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my husband keeps loaning his parents money they don't pay back, and it's making me resentful. Should I try to stop him?
Huh.
Dear for love and money, my husband's parents have always struggled with money, and when they do, they come to him to ask him for a loan, some of which get repaid and others that don't. My husband feels indebted to them because they paid for all of his things growing up. I think that they signed up for that when they became parents. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I can't help but to hold a grudge that they take his hard-earned money without a second thought. Sincerely, a grudging giver. Dear grudging giver. In-law relationships often feel like something that happened to us. It's a relationship we technically signed up for when we chose to marry our spouses, but still a product of happenstance. Add in partners who appreciates it if we could love their parents with the same enthusiasm they do, and things can become complicated. I think there are a few reasons for this. First off, there's the insecurity that goes with both parties, worrying that the other doesn't like them. Meeting the parents is an infamous relationship milestone for this reason, if only because first impressions have a tendency to shape the rest of your relationship. Then there's the issue of mutual but oppositional entitlement. I've given this kid everything since the day they were born. I will love them even if and when you throw in the towel. They're my child, and on the other side, I met this person and I chose to share my entire life with them, and they love me so much they chose me too. You may be their past, but I'm their future. I mention all of this because when I read your letter, I got the sense that the resentment you're feeling is less about the money and more about your relationship with your in-laws being one fraught with irritation and judgment. I get it. Personally, having a great relationship with my in-laws wasn't the puzzle piece easily clicking into place that one hopes for, especially for all the reasons I already listed, plus a barely drinking age wedding and a surprise pregnancy. My relationship with my parent-in-laws required me to squeeze to fit while they shifted to make room. But now they really are the second parents everyone hopes their in-laws will be. And from what they tell me, I'm truly a daughter to them as well. For you, squeezing yourself to fit in with your in-laws will mean letting go of the judgment you hold regarding their financial incompetence, as well as the grudge you're holding against them for what you feel is them taking advantage of their son. Different families have different values, and it sounds like your husband's family values is taking care of each other, while your family may have valued self-reliance and not asking for things that might require another person's sacrifice. Both of these values are admirable. I cannot say that word.
Admirable.
Thank you. Admirable. But they aren't compatible, which is rare. Your conflict comes, unfortunately, in the worst thing you can do is, in this scenario, is where your husband has to choose between the parents who want him to keep loaning them cash or the spouse who wants him to stop. Your husband is his own person, and sharing his hard-earned money with his parents is his call to make. And I agree with that 1,000%.
Yes, I do actually as well.
I think people get too involved in what their family, and of course, because you don't want to see your spouse hurt, right?
Right.
Like,
course.
you don't want them to be upset or having a bad day because it's like, damn, I don't have enough money because I felt like I had to give it to my family.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, if it's his money and it's not tapping into the money that you're spending, it's like I saw this question on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and it was like, how do you feel about your spouse or your husband paying for OnlyFans? Now, as extreme as that might be, I specifically said that if all the bills are paid and everybody has already done their fair share of the bills, what each person does with the money that they have left over for each of them is their business.
Well, that's the reason you have your own personal spending allowance, isn't it?
I mean, this is true, but I understand it because I've been in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Marquise used to loan money, and, I've told this story before to you, but I don't know if I've ever told it on the pod. But our last Christmas together before we broke up, he was supposed to be buying me an iPad. I really wanted an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had spoken in, August about what do we want for Christmas, how much are we looking to spend on each other and our families, and what does that look like? Because at the time, we did breakfast with his family in the morning, and then we would do Christmas dinner with my family on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So,
this story is
ultimately, he, for months, when I would ask him, hey, where are you getting your Christmas gifts sent to, and blah, blah, and he's like, oh, it's going to my mom's. I don't want you to see it. And I was like, well, won't they open their stuff? And he was like, no, their stuff, I'm getting that later or whatever. It was always an excuse why he wasn't having packages delivered. So, Christmas Eve night, I was bagging and wrapping gifts. And when I was done with my portion for my family, I said, where are your gifts? Do you need me to bag them or wrap them or anything? And you know what he says to me? I didn't get anything for anybody.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
And I was like, but you told me that you saved over $800 over the last 4.5 months. Where did that money go? And he was like, my mom needed to borrow it, so I gave it to her. And I was like, for what? And he was like, I didn't ask. I was like,
and he didn't think to tell you?
No. He was like, I didn't ask. And I was like, so what were we going to do at Christmas? What were we going to just show up with nothing for no one? I was like, it's your family. You didn't get your family's gifts.
Wow.
He had told me, don't worry about getting them. I'll take care of it or whatever. So ultimately what ended up happening is I had to get a ride that night, and I went and bought gifts for everyone in the family. And then his sister, I had bought myself this really cute North Face hoodie. It was a light blue color that they don't even make anymore. And it was glittery, and it was amazing. But it was also a medium, so I knew his sister could fit it. And so I put that in a bag for her, like a brand new hoodie I had bought for myself because I didn't have anything for her. And no one said thank you to me. Her brothers, his brothers, I put cards, like money with cards. And his younger brother, we gave him a 20, but his older brother got like 40. And he was like, you guys only gave me 20. This is all I'm like. It was such an ungrateful experience.
Whoa.
And they were so disrespectful to me. And I like flipped out. And I was like, no one has thanked me for anything. And Marquise didn't get this stuff. Like, he didn't do anything for you guys. And then I left. And, the icing on the cake, though, was the same Christmas where I bought him a $469 bracelet from Zales from the Shaquille O'Neal collection. And he lost it.
What?
I gave it to him on Christmas Day. When we came home on Christmas evening, it was gone.
Oh.
No bracelet.
Wait a minute. He lost it in less than 24 hours?
Yep.
What the whole
I bought that thing on sale on Black Friday. So I had it for a month. And you lost it in 24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh my God, that story.
Less than.
Man.
What the hell?
Oh, that's so much money.
I feel
my
like,
God, my heart
having been her before, I understand.
You think there should be some responsibility here on reporting at least some of the money that you have?
Well, yeah, because we're our unit as a household. So
Sure.
I feel like it's a responsibility because, yeah, you can do what you need to do. And, you might have your own bills, or like you and I, like you prefer Spotify, I prefer Apple Music, and stuff like that. But when you look at it, the grand scheme of things, if I needed extra money for groceries, or if I needed you to cover something for me, I need to be able to rely on you as my partner to know that you have the funds to do that. So, yeah, there needs to be a check and comment. Like, I'm not going to, balance your checkbook, but there needs to be some liability there because we are still partners in a household. Yeah. And there's not a healthy way for people to take care of multiple households. And, like the Christmas thing wasn't even the first time. It was just the worst time. Marquise was constantly loaning money to people. And then if he didn't have it to pay back, it was always my job. Or, or he would borrow money from people and then it'd be my job to pay it back. Or he would just give money.
And so that was the parents thing, because that's what it is, right? Because he would give money to his parents. And there's this obligation. It's these people who are like family first and they're always seeking acceptance. And I really believe that that's what that is, right? So like you give your family everything they want, even though they haven't been that good to you.
Oh, yeah.
But you still have been, like, indoctrinated with this idea that you should, like, families first, you should always be there for family no matter how they treat you. And I think that's pure bullshit, and I've never lived by that. But I also was very privileged, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my dad wasn't around, but I had a great mom. And, like, my mom wasn't, wealthy, but my mom made okay money. And she was lucky. We were very, very lucky that she ended up where she did. But that's the thing. It's like not very many people are that lucky. And so they are constantly seeking approval. And so they feel like, oh, yeah, I'm going to just give my money because I have it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, since it's my money, I can do whatever the hell I want.
Approval,
Yeah.
The other thing, though, that we have to acknowledge in this conversation is the parents' fault. Because I don't know what it is about parents, but some of these parents, especially if you had your kid, if your oldest is 18 and you're 36 or 37, those parents are dumb, and they act as if they're entitled. Like, I remember hearing a girl's mom tell her one time, like, well, I took care of you and I did this and I did that, and the girl got so hurt, and I was like, that was your job. You're the one that brought the child into the world, which means that you're obligated until they're 18 and can be a legal adult. Your obligation is to take care of your child. Like, don't come to your child
like you should be rewarded, like they should.
Right?
They owe you something, but they didn't ask to be brought here.
Right, and that's my thing. Like, don't come.
It's like the Chris Rock joke.
Don't come to your child for who has suddenly become successful or they're more wealthy, and you feel like because they have it financially and you raised them, that it's owed to you, because it's really like you raised your child to be self-sufficient and reliable, which means that you as a parent need to set that example and be self-sufficient and reliable. Like, you can't raise me to 18 and then be like, oh, now you're 28 now and you're making good money and you
now it's time for you to take care of me. So
now it's time for you to take care of me. I never liked that.
You ever heard the story, the Quentin Tarantino story?
No.
It's a great story. So when he was a kid, his mom would come into the room and would see him like drawing and would see him like writing scripts and stuff.
Yep.
And she would like put him down. She'd be like, "Oh, you and your little stupid little dream, it's never gonna happen." Like, she would put him down.
Damn.
And he looked her in the face when he was a kid and told her, "That's fine. When I do make money, though, you're not gonna see any penny of it." And when he became a huge movie director, he fucking of course he's paid stuff for his mom. It's your mom. Sure. But he definitely is not going to go all out like he would have if she had been supportive.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, and you got to be careful, man. Like, you have the responsibility to shape how your kid looks at themselves forever.
Listen, there's power of life and death in the tongue. Literally.
Yeah.
You got to be careful what you say to people, how you speak to someone, the
words
seeds that you see. Words.
Words mean what they actually mean. Like, that's why I love words so much.
The stupidest phrase that I've ever heard is "sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me."
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
At the end of the day, I feel like they're gonna fail, and they're gonna fail for a common reason, and it's because of money, and it's not for lack of money. It's because of financial irresponsibility.
Right.
It's irresponsible.
The lack of communication.
Yeah. Well, and it's irresponsible of that man to continue loaning his parents money, because you're an adult. What are you learning? Like, what are you learning from getting money from me all the time?
Yeah, and I think they're going to fail because he kept doing it.
You're my parent.
Well, I think they are going to fail because the conversation has not fixed anything.
Yeah.
He continues. Obviously, she's made her thoughts known, and he continues to do it. So it feels like he's completely disregarding his wife.
Yeah.
Like, he has no respect for what his wife is asking for, because clearly your wife is coming from a place where she doesn't want to see you being taken advantage. She loves you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She that's why you married her, right? Like, you married somebody to be at your side, to like pull you out of,
to keep you from doing stuff that's gonna hurt you and cause you harm.
That's
and
why we get with people.
Yeah, because they make you better. They help you see things that you can't see otherwise.
What do you think, Shaleah? Fail? They're gonna fail, or they're gonna be forever? They're gonna work this out.
The wife is not going to allow this to fail. She seems too diligent to allow that. So I say forever. I say she'll be able to fix it. I say that she will be able to talk him into going into counseling with his parents, and if that doesn't work, she'll be able to convince him that they're going to have to figure it out on their own, and that he'll be able to say that, because I believe in this wife. The fact that she's asking for help means that she doesn't want her marriage to fail. So I'm going to say forever.
I like it.
I like that too.
I like it. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag #ForeverFail on social media at Down in the DM Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok.
Honey, tell me about affairs.
Let's talk about some affairs, yeah?
Oh, okay. What are we talking about?
All right. Don't do this at home.
No, don't. It's bad.
But
well, most
people share how they started affairs, and these stories are bananas.
Oh, boy.
Somebody on Reddit recently asked users, how did your affair start?
That
People
is a
started
crazy
revealing
question.
Huh?
I'm
That
surprised
is a
people would
crazy
answer
question.
that.
Right.
I'm surprised people would openly, willingly answer that question. Like, oh, yeah, I just,
Wow,
met him in the
first
cafe
story is
and-
bananas. We met at work and started having threesomes with my wife. One thing led to another, and we started hooking up without her. Thankfully, my wife forgave me, and we were able to reconcile. Holy mother of God.
Holy crap.
Well, I don't like
that
that.
happens all the time.
Hold on, let's back up. I don't like this story because it doesn't clarify if they reconciled and continued having threesomes with her, or if he stopped the affair.
I'm sure they stopped the affair. I'm
It's
sure that's where it
probably
went.
done.
But
Like, that's probably how they
obviously, it
reconciled.
ruined something enough for them to have to reconcile. And so
Right.
I don't think they would reconcile and bring it back into their lives.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, that's not real reconciliation, is it?
I guess not, right? Like, if you're getting back into it.
Well, and the thing is, too, I mean, it's an affair because he started sleeping with her without his wife present, if that was the agreement when they started having threesomes. But at the same time, if his wife was willing to have threesomes in the first place, that's why I said that. Like, I wonder if she was more mad that he was having sex with the woman, or if she was more mad because he was doing it without her knowledge.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
No, I got that.
That's a good question, actually.
The second one. I was really into erotic stories online. I wrote a few and would chat on the discussion boards. There was an older woman I chatted with, and she worked near my apartment. I was in my early 20s, and she was in her late 30s. We arranged to meet during her lunch break, and I went to pick her up, and she was like, let's skip lunch and go back to yours. We did this a few times a week for a few months. I found out early on that she was married, but not really happily married. She eventually stopped calling and messaging for lunch dates.
Whoa.
Yeah. He probably killed her. I'm kidding.
What? Whoa,
Her
that's
husband
nuts.
probably did.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, I hope not. But
I hope not, but he might
you
have.
never know.
Shit. It's weird now. I mean, COVID fucked some people's heads up. Be real.
No, COVID just let their crazy flags fly.
Well, you read about it. It
Be
was
like,
always there.
People,
They just-
the thing about COVID,
they were better at reining it in before COVID.
Well, the thing about COVID too is people don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Like, COVID put people in this mind state of like not giving a fuck.
Yeah, it did.
It's unfortunate. Give me another one, honey.
Hold on. I'm trying to look for some good ones because some of these are kind of like,
Yeah.
they're not really. Yeah, like there was one about I found out my significant other was cheating on me. And
Oh, it's a payback story.
yeah, it's a payback and they didn't
Wow.
feel good about it. And obviously, it doesn't feel good. Cheating sucks.
Cheating is ass. Like, no cheating. Like, literally.
It doesn't feel good. Like,
doesn't. It
let
doesn't.
that person actually deal with themselves at night. Because ultimately, the only person they really have to face is themselves. This is like
Inside
out of
of
a
you.
porn movie.
Oh, God, what
Oh,
is it?
God.
Oh, God.
She was an older mid-30s banker. She was funny and worldly, and she took in a huge interest in me. She told me to meet her one day in the safe where all the sensitive paper files used to be kept. I thought it was for legit business, and next thing I knew, she was going down on me. We kept it quiet because I was like 18 and figured it'd be an awesome little summer fling, and obviously we were supposed to be getting it on at work, but then I found out after the hottest month of sex I ever had that she was keeping it quiet because she was fucking married. Wow.
I mean, that story is bananas for so many reasons, but mostly that lady is probably a predator, and I'm sure she's probably got some under 18.
I was literally
victims
just about to say
floating
that's a
around
little bit
somewhere.
rapey.
That's
be honest.
very sexual
Yeah,
assaulty.
that
Bring
was
them
like-
into the fucking safe where nobody can go?
And then you
Yeah,
just, like,
that's crazy.
And then
And then
you
you
just
go
like
down
go
on
down
him?
on him without any like consent.
No
or anything,
warning, no, like,
discussion,
hey.
beforehand or anything.
Yeah, like what
nothing.
would make her think that was okay? To just be like, oh, I'm gonna, like, did they flirt
I'm gonna take
or
liberties
something?
with your person now.
Yeah, like I'm gonna just put your dick in my mouth.
gonna have
in
my
the back room.
right. I'm just
At the bank. Like, that is bananas.
that is nuts.
something.
Oh my
Wow.
God, this is so good.
What?
My
What'd
girlfriend told me, you're lucky that you have me. If
Whoa.
you ever leave me, you'll die alone because no one would want you.
Whoa, rude.
So
wow.
I had this burning desire to prove her wrong. I ended up sleeping with her boss.
Whoa. Shit.
That's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
Congrats.
So, I don't know
God
if
bless
I would
you.
necessarily cheer for that person.
Oh, why not? That's fantastic. You know, that's horrible to say to somebody.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's
Especially
It is
men.
awful.
Men do not know how to deal with that. Men are
Awful
not.
to say to anyone.
Huh?
It's awful to say to anyone.
For
True.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But like, that shit really will that will fuck men up to the point where they really will become old, single, and alone. They
a
will
fucked up
never
thing to
even
say.
attempt. Like, I feel like there's more of a chance of women, like, at one point, and even if it's not themselves motivating themselves, hopefully a girlfriend around them that's like, girl, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go out, get pretty, do your thing, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Guys don't have that.
Really?
No.
For real?
Not like that.
You mean to tell me that?
Not like that, yo.
Okay, so hang on. So let me ask you then. If you found yourself in a situation like that for some reason, are you telling me that, like, question, for example, wouldn't be like, yo, bro, you know this, you're you know, whatever, blah, 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 you know, this ain't you, you know, you better than this.
Sure.
So why would that not help bounce you back? Like, that's pretty much the same thing that a girlfriend would do for one of
Because
us.
I think it's like, I think when because men don't really know how to deal with their insecurity.
Well, I think it's that, but I also think there's an intimacy between women that men just don't have. You know, men have always been told, like, you have to be this stereotype to be considered
they're told to be distant
manly.
from their emotions.
And so, you know, for example, if I called you crying and I said, hey, I need you and I need you now, you'd come over with a tub of ice cream and a bottle of wine.
And guess what's gonna happen?
And we would cry.
You're gonna cry
and
together.
We would cuddle and it would
Exactly.
and then I would be better the next day.
that's
Like,
the thing.
men don't do
they
that.
don't
You know what
do that.
happens
And, like,
when I call my guy friends when I cry?
They tell you to suck it up.
No, because I would never surround myself with guys like that. I don't like that.
But they do offer him, like,
But they-
guns and stuff.
They offer me, like, they're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Damn. Like, there's not much attachment to it. And it's not because they don't care,
They just don't know how to deal.
but as men,
they don't know what to do with
it's
it.
harder for us to try to really, like, feel what that person is feeling.
Yeah.
You know, all we can offer is a damn, bro. Fuck, that sucks, bro. That damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, let's hang out together later.
Here,
We'll
why
drink.
don't we
We'll play
smoke
some games. We'll smoke
whatever.
up, whatever,
Yeah.
and we'll have some fun. You can get your mind off of it. That's how men think about it. Like, and I think that there's something to that. Like, honey, I love that you brought that up because I think it's beautiful that women can go ahead and grab a tub of ice cream and cry together because they feel it. They feel that shit.
I think it would be healthy for people to dismiss the stereotype around men so that men can allow themselves to enjoy that comfort as well, though, because that's how you gain emotional maturity.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I can't stand people who say, like, I remember I had a conversation with somebody one time and they told me men couldn't be victims.
That's
Oh, that's nonsense.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
That's complete
I-
bullcrap.
I lost my shit. on that
Yeah,
person.
because
Like,
that's bullshit.
I was like, how dare you say that
That's-
a man
yeah.
can't be a victim?
No.
And then I
I
was
know
like,
several men
Oh, man.
personally
It's definitely
that
possible.
have gone
Anyone
through
can be a
horrible
victim.
things. Absolutely.
Anyone can be a victim.
yeah, I was like, that's
Everyone can be
but
a victim.
and it, you know, and it was a man who said that to me. And so
Wow.
when you think about that, when you realize that there are legitimately men out here who believe like men can't be victims and we're always pillars of strength and all,
It actually makes you
all of
wonder
that
what they've
stuff.
been through.
Well, that it makes you wonder what they've been through, but it also makes other men realize like I can't go to this person when I'm going through some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
This one
Not
was
with that
crazy. I wasn't
attitude.
happy in my marriage. I was traveling for work and I was at dinner with someone else who had traveled into the location. We were the last two out and we're talking. I asked about her family and she said her husband was an asshole. One thing led to another and we started an affair for the next 2 years.
Whoa,
Wow.
sheesh. Damn, that's
God,
a long
man.
time.
I just
2
don't like if
years.
you're that miserable in your marriage,
Why are you?
how are you having the mental strength to hold up an affair?
And that's the thing. Like I really truly feel that it's so real about how every person, from person to person, your compassion and the way that you handle guilt is different.
Yeah.
Some people, guilt doesn't pierce them whatsoever.
Yeah.
They don't feel guilty about shit. They'll do it, and they can move on like nothing fucking happened.
Yeah, of course.
And then there are people like myself. If I cheated on my wife, I couldn't live with myself. It's not like I would tell her because I would have to be an honest man, but like the idea of having to live with myself every night and know that like security is broken, trust is broken, it's done. I don't understand how people can't fathom that.
Because it's so huge, like.
That's a big feeling, yo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big feeling. So people are ruthless out here if they can't feel that shit. I lost a bunch of weight after my ex broke up with me because of depression. I went back to him after we had a chit-chat about our breakup and what he did since losing so much weight. I was getting a ton of new attention, and my boyfriend had gone back to business as usual, meaning he didn't try to date me or impress me or compliment me or anything. A guy at work started showing me the attention I wasn't getting from my boyfriend, and after hanging out a few times, we ended up sleeping together. My boyfriend knew, I'm pretty sure, but I broke up with him telling him I loved him but didn't like him anymore. But as they say, how you get them is how you keep them. And the guy I cheated on my boyfriend with cheated on me with 2 coworkers. He got them both pregnant.
Whoa.
And one of them was my best friend.
Oh, shit.
On that note,
man!
Shit, damn!
Share with us some of your stories if you've had an affair by contacting us at Down in the DM Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, or email us at downinthedmpod@gmail.com.
Oh, my God.
Holy mother of God. All right, honey. So out of nowhere, we were talking, we were having a conversation, and you said you had a forever or fail for us.
Yeah. This one is juicy.
Okay. You know I like it juicy.
And what?
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go through the entire article because some of it was like comments of people, but I ran across an article on BuzzFeed, and a woman wrote in, and she wanted to know, was she the asshole for being angry at her husband? Now, what her husband did was aggressive. So when they got married, she did her own makeup, and it wasn't perfect, but it was a little heavier than she normally wore. Throughout the day, her husband kept teasing her about the makeup, and she's, acknowledged that she has some insecurities, and her looks are one of them. And she, says that she struggled with her weight and not feeling pretty enough, and some of, those old insecurities that we kind of all have, right? So it comes to a head at the reception when everyone's giving their speeches, because he stands up to give his groom speech, and then he makes a joke about his wife, and he said, I'm marrying the love of my life today, but I never expected to marry her while she looks like a mannequin with makeup. That man told his wife on their wedding day,
her whole family and his whole family
and all their friends,
and probably
like
co-workers.
And so she waited until she could humiliate him. And at one point, he was standing by his parents and her parents. And then she started screaming at him at their ceremony. And then he looked at her and goes, I don't know why you're overreacting. It was just a joke.
What?
And so now she's saying that she has regrets, of course.
Well,
what do you think, honey?
Well, I first want to say we do have some of our friends in Clubhouse, or not in Clubhouse, in Team Talk right now. Justin and Carrie are here. Guys, what do you think? What do you think of the story?
crazy. I wonder if that's a guy who had the COVID.
The COVID dick.
No,
No.
that man's sleeping outside.
Facts.
Yeah, no.
Facts. No, so
Okay.
here's what I think about it. This is crazy. This is a crazy story because I don't think anybody would know what to do in that situation. Because like immediate reaction, knowing that that's something that you face every day, right? Like the insecurity aspect of it. You are now in a position where if you call it off, you've wasted money.
Right.
Yeah.
But then if you keep it going, now you're getting into a relationship with this guy who literally took your worst vulnerability and, you know what I'm saying?
And publicly
And used it against you. Yes.
Your wedding.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
And so to me, this was cruel. Like this
Yeah.
was probably one of the meanest things I've ever heard somebody do on their wedding day.
Is he a joking type of guy, or is he a serious guy?
So that wasn't really clear.
It wasn't
No,
clear,
it wasn't.
but I agree.
But she did say
'cause
he'd been joking with her about it all day long.
I
Well,
do
he
love.
said teasing. She
Oh.
specifically
All day?
used
That's
teasing,
crazy.
and I don't think that people understand that those words are not interchangeable.
No, they're not.
Like, when I'm joking with Danny, I clearly say I'm joking. And when
Yeah.
I'm teasing him, I clearly say I'm teasing because one of the things that we established in our relationship is we do not joke about things that could possibly be triggers. Like for me, I've been struggling as I lose my vision, and I've been struggling with the knowledge, that I have to have a hysterectomy and some other stuff. So we don't joke about that in this house.
Right.
Because those are my insecurities, and he's my partner, and he respects my feelings.
Of course.
So if he's teasing her on her wedding day and she keeps asking him to stop, it's no longer joking. Now it's cruel.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
you're getting into territories of like disrespect.
Yeah. Now you're
Because
just
she's
crossing
asked
the
you.
line.
It's one thing if you joke around with somebody and you do it a couple times, and then if they actually say like, that actually really fucking bothers me.
Yeah.
Especially because that's an insecurity for me. I'm not gonna keep harping on that. Like only a person who really is intentionally trying to hurt somebody would go there.
Truth.
But the thing is, though, this goes down in history because people record their weddings, and I'm sure. I mean, joking about that on the stage. I mean, on the altar. That's screwed up.
I
But
think
when
it's
was
a
it done?
weird. I agree with you. I think there's something really weird about like being. I don't know. I feel like have fun at the reception. You know what I mean? But I feel
Yeah.
like the ceremony is supposed to be serious.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, and this did take place at the reception.
Yeah. This
Oh,
was during
okay.
his-
That's right.
his
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
So
this
that's
wasn't
after
something that
the
happened. They were
ceremonies
already
after.
married for a couple hours
Yep.
before
Oh
this
my
happened.
god,
After the
that's
ceremony's over.
horrible. That's horrible.
The
No, this
fucking
is
ink
gonna-
hasn't even dried on the fucking certificate yet.
Exactly. This is gonna fail. This is gonna fail because he doesn't give a fuck about what she feels. When he said, I don't know why you're overreacting, he has no problem dismissing her feelings, not giving a fuck.
Before I give my verdict, Carrie or Justin, do you have anything? Do you know if they're going to be forever or they're going to fail?
Well, I'm leaning towards. Well, you see that one joke could put a dent in the relationship, but it could be a forever. You can never tell where this could go.
It could be forever.
It could
If
be.
it
Yeah.
keeps,
Yeah.
yeah, it could be. It also could be a very big
You
fail.
never know.
Shaleah, what you got?
Well, I'm the person that tries to see the silver lining in the cloud, but to be honest with you, this guy's an asshole. Like,
Truth.
this guy
Yes.
is a jerk on steroids. So this one, get the fuck out of there, girlfriend. Go to the priest or whatever and be like, look, could you just not file that and send it through the shredder? Because I'm changed my mind. I'm gonna try to get a refund on all this shit because I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I'm out.
Now, ladies, would if your husband said this, would you be calling off the marriage?
Fuck this shit. I'm out. No thanks. That's my answer to that question.
Honey, like, would you be out on this, or would this be like something you seriously had to talk about?
So, I don't know. And here's
Until you're
why.
in the situation.
Well, and then furthermore, consider this. The way he acts and the way she described his behavior was very entitled. And so if he grew up with a sense of entitlement, or maybe he's hot and girls flock for him, and maybe he thinks that she should be feeling lucky that he chose her. You know what I mean? Because there are people like that out there.
Sure there are.
And so if he has a douche personality and everybody knew he was a douche, she loved him and was probably blinded by it. But the fact is, the day of the wedding is so emotional that one thing, like, you remember Marcus forgot the ring, and I had a nervous breakdown.
I remember.
And that was just the ring. Like,
I was like, oh my God, she's gonna kill him.
That's that stuff that will kill themselves. And I would never stay with somebody who made me feel like that on a day where I was supposed to feel like a princess.
Facts.
Also, that's the kind of shit that makes you think he's going to take her on her honeymoon and he's going to come home alone.
Yeah, that is a little bit, yeah. That's why I'm like, whoa, why would he do, how could, also, what kind of person are you that you think that speaking to someone that you literally just married hours ago like that
Mind
is
you,
okay?
in front of a crowd.
In front of everyone that you just married her.
I would never take my wife's
screwed up.
insecurities that we speak about behind closed doors
Right.
and exploit them in front of everybody.
You just like put
that.
her, all of her dirty laundry,
Like
all the
everything
things
that
she trusted you with,
and like things that she still has to deal with.
and hung it out.
That's
to
the
dry.
thing.
Yeah, you
she
just, like,
still
put
has
all
to
her shit on
like
display.
once all this fucking wedding shit is over, she has to go home and still deal with the fact that she has insecurities about her looks and shit like that.
And think about how her family and friends, like, she'll never be looked at the same. People will always look at her with pity if she stays with that man.
Yep.
Because they will all remember the moment that he got up and said, she looks like a mannequin with face makeup.
And imagine the family members and all the friends going home and being telling their people, like, hey, you know, I was at this dude's wedding one time. And he said his wife said it was like butterface. That's a story when you go home.
I mean,
boy.
for real, like, oh, hey, Mom, how was the wedding? Oh, the wedding was, it was a wedding.
Until
Like the wedding.
It was a wedding until, like, it was just like every other wedding until it wasn't, and then.
Like, it's one of these moments you miss the dun 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 just before.
My moment that I would have like done if I was petty and a guest, I would have been like, ooh, he said she ain't got no nipples.
You gonna let her say that shit? You gonna let him say that? What you gonna say back?
Talk about his mom. She
Tell everybody you got a little ass dick.
ain't get my bridesmaids involved. Fuck you and fuck her too. I
Shit.
was threatening to shoot people at our wedding, so they like.
Yeah. It got gangster at our wedding.
It
I was like,
did.
where did Denara pull this fucking Ohio ass?
Oh, my gosh.
She's from Chicago originally.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you remember she's from
Oh,
Chicago.
that's right. Yes, it all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
It all does.
It all makes
all
sense.
of it. Everything.
So, for our listeners, the backstory for my friend Denara.
You've heard Denara on the podcast. We love her.
We love her. So, she was one of my bridesmaids, and things were hectic during our wedding day. And at one point, when they get to the end, they asked, does anybody have any objections? And Denara got so gangster for a second. It was like, they better not. she was like, they don't know me. I'm strapped. I was like,
I thought something was about to come out of the purse.
yeah.
I was like, oh.
And then poor Terica had to wrangle us all. Because, like, I was about to get gangster because the preacher was late, granddaddy.
Oh,
and then, no, I'm not
It was
kidding.
it
My
was definitely.
preacher was my grandfather,
Yes,
and he
I
was the
see.
last person to the altar. Terica had to physically put her hand on my shoulder because I was going to go fight that man. She hit me
Terica,
with
I
that
remember Terica. She hit. I was literally about to say the
she
mom,
hit
right?
me with the mom hand.
And she
was like,
no,
stay
she did
right
the
there.
whisper. She did the mom whisper. Don't you
Yeah.
fucking stop.
Oh, snap.
She hit me and was like, "You better not move." I was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "I'll behave."
You better be your ass still front.
We gotta have Terica on here.
She
There was
had
a
to
plan.
give you the "Don't make me tell you again" voice.
She did. And then she had to wrangle Denard too. Cause
Yeah, it
Denard
got violent. It got crazy.
She said, "Put that shit away."
Denard said, "They better not. I drove here for 2 hours in the rain."
Shit. Ready to fucking go, huh?
Well, I guess the consensus is that this is a fail. Lady, anonymous poster, I hope that you leave him, and if you don't, I wish you a very miserable marriage.
Get out right now. Like, literally, get the fuck out of there. Like,
Thank you, guys. It is time for Unpopular Opinions, and Shaleah is our guest today. Honey, we do this every episode. We get to share some thoughts that we have that would typically be unpopular by the majority.
Truth.
So Shaleah is our guest. Go ahead with your first one, Shaleah. What do you got?
okay. Some people might find this unpopular, but I think Red Robin is disgusting.
Red Robin,
Yum.
overrated.
Yuck.
Yeah,
Definitely
Yuck.
overrated.
It definitely is overrated. Yeah.
Let me tell you what Red Robin does, and this is somebody coming from somebody who loves fucking burgers. Okay,
Oh yeah.
they truly are like. I'm trying to think who else does it in the fast food game or just in the restaurant chain game, but they literally rely on toppings and condiments to flavor their burgers.
Yeah.
They don't put any flavors on their burgers at all.
That's because they don't use real. Well, I mean, it's real, but it's like the prepackaged frozen thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're gonna be known as a popular burger joint, season your damn burgers.
And I love burgers, like you. I absolutely love a burger, man. I
Your
always go for a good
slogan
burger.
is Red Robin Yum.
Yum.
It should
It's
be.
gotta be
It should make me go
yummy.
yum when I eat it. Like, yeah, no, but seriously though, like when I take that first bite, I should go yum.
Yeah,
I was
it's
not
always
impressed.
first bite. Always first bite.
Yeah,
All
gotta
right,
be
honey,
the
what's
first
yours?
bite.
I don't care for turtle flavored things. Like
You know-
something about pecans and caramel and chocolate all together is not.
I love it.
It is
That's
doing
not
a
a
bit
fun-
much, actually. I can
That's
get
not a
why.
fun thing.
It's one of my favorites.
It's doing a lot.
Yes,
I
it's
can
a lot.
understand why you wouldn't like that.
I can't stand when people call shopping carts buggies.
Isn't that like a regional thing?
No,
like-
I don't know, but like
Aren't
I
they
hear it a
called-
lot.
Aren't they called? Well, no, because in England
I
they're
think it
called
depends on-
trolleys. They're not called buggies.
Trolleys.
I don't know why.
It's just a
Huh.
cart. You're pushing around a cart.
In England, they call them trolleys. Kind of
Yeah,
like, you
they
know,
call
like
it the Lou and the John too for toilets.
Oh,
I don't
the
wanna-
John, I don't understand. Why do you have to call it the John? What is
Yeah.
that?
Poor John.
Poor John.
that's a
Why did
bad
you have
name
to
to
get stuck
have.
with? Yeah, right.
It's because of glory.
Oh, dear. Well,
Glory, glory.
Yeah, I mean,
Hallelujah.
Like John Doe's are anonymous. Glory holes anonymous.
I
Oh,
understand.
You're going to.
Oh
John.
dear.
Honey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, that
I
was
learned
very
something new today.
insightful.
I learned something new.
I mean,
Shaleah,
it
what's
could
your
be
next one?
false, but I just wanted to say it with
No, it
confidence.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
No, like I just said it with confidence, you know.
10 toes down,
Yeah.
baby.
All day.
All right, go ahead. What's your next one, Shaleah?
Okay, so my next one is definitely going to be unpopular, but I think peanut butter is disgusting.
Ooh, you don't like peanut butter anywhere?
No, anywhere.
No
at
peanut
all.
butter jelly. No Reese's
No,
peanut
no.
butter cups.
Okay, now hold on. Wait a minute. I do like those, but I don't like it anywhere else at all, anywhere ever. Just Reese's. That's it. And I think it's because their peanut butter is like a special blend, so it doesn't really taste like peanut butter anyway.
It's a very chocolatey peanut butter.
It
It's
is.
not
It's like
an
kind of like
actual-
overly sweet
Yeah.
in comparison to normal peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
Ugh.
Oh, it's so good. All right, honey, what's your next one?
My next one is a drunk driver should always be found liable.
Always. I agree.
Always.
I agree.
I don't think it should only be if someone dies.
No
I think that-
exceptions.
I think that there should be harsher punishments for people who get DUIs, the same way there are harsher punishments for people who have who have marijuana possessions.
Absolutely.
My second one, R.L. Stine is a better horror writer than Stephen King.
Truth.
And
I
Stephen
actually agree
King's
with
got
that.
some great stuff. Mm-hmm. Stephen King's got some really, really good stuff, and it taps into some crazy shit. But R.L. Had such a way of roping you in.
Yeah.
And I think there's a real talent to that.
Not just roping you in, but keeping you there.
True.
Yeah. And the twists.
Yeah,
the twists blow my mind definitely more than Stephen King.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. And Shaleah, what's your last one?
Okay, so my last one is I do not think that Sia can sing all that well.
Yeah. You know what? It's Sia.
She's too screechy.
Yeah, and I think they were just trying to find a place for Sia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sia, when she started out in a girl group or a band in 2003, 2002, she sounded different. She wasn't singing like that. Mm-hmm. And so I think after writing Perfume and writing Diamonds for Rihanna and then doing Titanium and blowing up after Titanium, I think they were just trying to put her where she can. And sometimes I really do feel it's a contractual thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I just don't feel like she has.
I agree.
Her voice is okay, but she just doesn't have. She's an amazing songwriter, though.
I'm not going to her music though, and I get that completely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely not going against her music at all. I'm just saying
I'm not going to my Spotify
vocal,
and typing in Sia and taking in her discography.
Right,
I'm cool on that.
No, I'm
you're
good. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, I love her songwriting, but I don't want to sit and listen to her screech in my ears. I'm sorry, I love you, Sia. No offense, but if you gave all of your songs to someone else, I'd probably listen to them.
Honey, what's your last one?
So my last one for this week that, I actually think a lot of people will agree with. Soup is not a summer food.
No.
Oh, you know what, honey? I agree with you on this. And I love soup. I love soup.
I love soup.
Soup is amazing.
But soup is not summery.
It's
not.
Don't
feed me a bowl of soup and it's 90 degrees outside. Are you insane?
Please
I
don't.
would get so upset at my mom.
Just like, don't give me no fucking hot chocolate in 90-degree weather either.
My
Calm
stepdad.
down. You can have hot chocolate anytime.
My
It has to be a nighttime cup of cocoa if you have it in the summer.
Yeah,
it's nighttime cocoa, but you can't
Sitting
have
around the fire?
No. In the house in the air.
Right?
Are you insane?
No bonfires?
No.
What? Who do you think we are?
Oh. Man, I need a house out in the country.
It's because he's the cave of wonders. He's opening himself to new possibilities.
You have married friend. You need a house out in the country. Wait a minute.
No, I want a house out in the country. Are you nuts? I mean, no animals. Like, we're not gonna be raising animals.
If it means far away from people all the time, absolutely, bring it on, 1,000%.
What you gonna do out in the country?
Blare music.
Sleep. And chase Rufus around. He got so much yard.
Shoot
That's
guns.
true.
Pow pow. All right, honey. Give us your last unpopular opinion.
All right. In fast food restaurants, I frequently order my burgers without sauce. There are certain ones that I'm okay with sauce, but like most of the time, I really like tasting the burger for what it is.
Truth.
I really do.
I can understand that.
I hate when people are heavy-handed. I've ordered way too many fast food sandwiches where somebody was just
extra with
pumping that goddamn mayonnaise bottle or that mayonnaise
sounds
pump.
crazy.
Yeah, you just made that sound.
We're done.
You just made that sound.
Thank you so much for listening to
Use the
It
word
Goes.
pumping?
No.
Oh.
No. Thank you guys for listening to It Goes Down the DM. Find us on social media at Down in the DM Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, or email us at downinthedm@gmail.com. That was nuts.
No.
No, I was not.
I was.
No.
Not even.
This is a white substance, and they were
No,
pumping
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
No, that's not
It
what.
was the
No, no, no,
wow, the
no. No,
visual.
no, no, no.
It was the
No,
visual.
no, 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 no.
What? That they were pumping it on there?
Hey,
Stop
hey,
saying
hey.
that.
Pumping and dumping?
Would you stop, please?
Pumping, dumping?
Would you quit, please?
Okay. I'm just asking a question.
I wish you would.
I'm trying to
stop.
clarify.
It's that
The
fact.
repeated
the
use of that same
specificity
exact
of
word.
mayonnaise. Like if you
With
would have
the-
just said like the
Ketchup?
condiments, ketchup would have been fine. Anything but mayonnaise, actually.
I mean, honestly, you
Would've
could have
been
said
okay.
ranch dressing.
Nope. Still white.